Hey, what's up, everybody? Tyler here. I haven't posted a solo video in a while, and this really isn't like a big video. There's no breaking news on the Chargers front or anything, but there is a really important thing that happened today that's been in the works, but it wasn't really announced until today, and that's that Arjun got a job with the New York Jets. So officially, his statement. I'm excited to announce that I will be joining the New York Jets this summer as a football analytics intern in their front office. Honored and humbled to be given this opportunity and to be able to work with a great group of people. So yeah, a bit of a few months for the Guilty as Charged podcast. Obviously, Steven and I are on the Chargers network once a week, and now Arjun is working for the New York Football Jets. Um, Congratulations, first off, to Arjun. That's incredible. I just wanted to jump on here, and I didn't really have a plan for this, but I just wanted to talk about Arjun and kind of the mini journey that we've all gone on. In 2021, and typically is the case for me, I'm looking for ways to flesh out the podcast, ways to get more advanced, to try to grow more things. So sometimes it's a financial purchase, sometimes it's updating your background, and other times it's just adding smarter people in the room. I'm always looking for somebody because I know the least about football of everyone that we've had on the show, whether it be Jason, Alex, Steven, Arjun, etc. Like there's always somebody that knows more than me. And I love bringing those people on when they can bring on some sort of unique aspect that I know nothing about. I don't know if you knew about EPA per play or adjusted EPA per play or rushing yards over expected, really until Arjun came around, and it was perfect timing because he just started getting into, I think he was 19 at the time. He just started getting into coding and, football sort of things and trying to mesh those things together. And it was definitely a risk because it wasn't as out there and embraced, I think, even just 2 years ago as it is right now. So he started publishing articles, and I know that I think even in 2020 or 2019, he reached out to Gavino Borquez of Chargers Wire, and I was just like asking Gavino questions and stuff like that. And Gavino always laughs because Arjun would always call him Mr. Borquez because Arjun was like 17 at the time. He was just a kid. He's still very young. He's only 21. And then I remember just again looking for some way to get the podcast going a bit more, and I saw an article that he had posted. I think occasionally we interacted, but I never remembered him specifically. But I saw an article that he posted, and I read through it. I don't recall what the topic was. I don't remember what it was about. All I remember is that I was very impressed. Arjun just had something different, and he was explaining it in a way that I thought was like, well, that's very different. I had not thought of that before. I had not even really heard of that before, but it was something that was both unique and analytics based, that was also conveyed in a way that was easy enough to understand for someone like me or for any of you guys who aren't math guys or analytics guys, but you're football fans. He contextualized it in a way that made sense. So I remember asking Steven and Alex, like, hey, what do you think about this? And we had some ideas. We partnered with 3 other people or groups at the time with Arjun, and we made a big announcement. Obviously, they said yes. So Arjun was doing analytics. We had someone come on do fantasy football with us. We partnered with another organization. We partnered with another person. That did not work out. But hey, I'm happy to say that I went at least 1 for 4 on that. and it certainly worked out because Arjun from day one was exactly what we needed. And right at that time, the Chargers hired Brandon Staley, and analytics with the Chargers became a big thing. So it was a perfect set of timing. It was perfect timing for us. And I asked Arjun, one of the things I was always really impressed with him early on was I asked him, hey, I'd love to help you start out, finance things, because I wanted the podcast to be a certain level, right? I don't want my microphone to be so significantly different than his, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, nope, I got it. So he got himself a webcam. I think he got new Wi-Fi. He got himself the microphone. He's like, yeah, no, I've got it, no problem. And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't sure how it was going to go because I never met him. I never spoke to him. We never had a conversation face to face. I actually didn't know what Arjun sounded like until he sent us a quick demo to make sure that it worked, that the recording would go okay. I really didn't know. All I knew is that this guy was really smart and he knew how, at least how to write and convey himself, and convey his knowledge and the content in a way that was really spectacular. So, brought him on, and I mean, here we are, 2 years later, about 2.5 years later, and he's working with the New York Jets, which is crazy. Of the four people that we partnered with, Arjun had by far the fewest followers on Twitter. He says it was like 150, 200 followers. Now, what is he at? He's at 10,600. He's just put in the work. And I think that, there are moments where you can agree or disagree with Arjun. I certainly do. Of course, we all do. And he definitely has a specific way of looking at things because of the numbers and data, et cetera. But there's without a doubt, there's one thing without a doubt, and that's that Arjun is deserves this because of how freaking hard he works and has worked. Like there's what you guys see, obviously, because the graphs that he posts, the podcast that he'll do, the work that he does or did with us on the Guilty as Charged podcast. But there's also so much behind the scenes where it's, he'll message me something, I'll message him something, the conversations that he's had. I mean, Arjun is more busy and more connected than I think anybody ever realizes, and certainly more than he's given credit for. So that's why I always respect when he gives an opinion on something, because he's always pushing for the next thing. He's always making connections. He's always talking with as many people as possible. Like, he really puts the work in. And so it's no surprise, right, that he got a job with the New York Jets. Granted, he's only 21, so he hasn't even graduated yet. So that would have been the only hangup, but he got it. So I'm just really tremendously proud of him. I don't know if he's even ever going to watch this, but there was a time, and he sent me this once I knew he got this job. He called me, and we talked on the phone after I got off of work, and we just talked about, and we messaged back and forth after. What I sent him was, listen, we're both going to grow together through this, and we're both going to, my podcast and me and the podcast, etc. We're all going to grow and make more money and grow an audience and stuff like that together. And that ended up being true. No one ever said that we're able to do this with the Chargers because of Arjun. Nobody ever said that. But in so many words, it is true, though, that without Arjun and the spin on things that he was able to provide, and with this discussion of EPA per play and literally anything he could throw at us, because of all that made it possible for us to really jump up and end up with the Chargers. Again, no one has said that, but in so many words, that is true. He just gives exactly what we needed at the right time, and it was beneficial. And for a while, we gave him a platform, and we loved having him on, and we'll have him on anytime we can. But now he's headed to the New York Jets, so it's really cool to look back and see that we were just trying to figure this whole thing out, and there was a new coach. Things were exciting, and I reached out to a guy with a couple hundred followers that really wasn't out there in terms of content, and then things just blew up from there. And again, all I did was give him the login to the YouTube channel and to StreamYard. He did all the rest. So he'll say that he'll thank us that we gave him a platform, and yeah, I guess we literally gave him a platform, but that's it. Like, 99% of this is all Arjun. And I know throughout the process he's had fantastic mentors, peers, cohort members, you name it. A lot of the guys at Pro Football Focus, he talks about fondly all the time, because they're outstanding individuals. They've been on the show before. So yeah, he's been a combination of talented and lucky. And regardless, we've all at the Guilty as Charged podcast been very fortunate to have had him on. And I don't know what's happening from here. I know that he's not going to be able to do content for us during this gig. And to be completely honest, given the trajectory of the kid, I imagine that he's going to end up this, after the gig, next year, whatever, like, he's going to end up in a department somewhere full time. Where, I don't know. Be nice if it were the Chargers, but right now he's got that excellent gig with the Jets. So Yeah, again, I didn't really know what I was going to say when I jumped on here, so hopefully you caught up with the rambling, I suppose. At the end of the day, like Arjun, I'm very proud of you and everything that you've done, and I'm excited for you. I mean, the New York Jets, when they get Aaron Rodgers, is fantastic. And it couldn't be we, Steven and I, Alex and I, all of us, and I think all of the fans and everybody watching right now couldn't be more proud of you, Arjun, for what you've accomplished so far. And thank you for everything that you've done for this channel, because without you, we wouldn't be where we are. It's as simple as that. So lucky to have been a part of your journey, and thank you for being a big part of ours. All right, that's it for me. Make sure you find Arjun, say congratulations, let him know how you're feeling, because he deserves all the good things coming his way. All right, see ya.